Now we review the 2024 horror film Bagman. That just sounds so wrong. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have seen the limited release film Bagman. It is in theaters in my area. It is a, for Halloween sort of a release. It's a horror film about a family that moves back into their childhood home because the dad wants to make the ultimate tree trimmer or something like that, which is kind of silly because the family owns a lumber yard, and weird starts happening. Before I go any further, let me say that for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. If you'd be so kind as to comment, like, and subscribe, you'd be doing your part for a better world. Now, Bagman. There's not much to talk about. It's a very run-of-the-mill sort of a horror film. It feels like it's a PG-13, although I didn't bother checking. And it's a low fatality sort of a film. And do not watch this film thinking there's going to be blood, guts, and gore. There is creepy atmosphere and an annoying wooden flute. So yes, those sorts of things. There is a limited cast, although for being so limited, it's reasonably diverse. The mother appears to be of recent African descent. You have a mixed-race child. These are all, they're just facts. It's not important to the story at any point. But that's, I've seen this before. It's a trend in horror movies now. And yeah, not a bad thing. In addition, I would have to say that the language of the film is a little lacking, but many of the shots, they use darkness very well. And it is a truly creepy sort of a film. What you have here is, it's essentially a haunting movie, although, I believe there's a corporeal monster in this. But, what's going on is that the dad used to live in this house, and he was terrified of the Bagman, which is a story that he was told by his father, that there was a monster that lived in the woods, and he liked good little kids, and he would capture the good little kids, and I'm not sure what he would do with the good little kids after that. It's not that 100% clear, but that's just this monster. And this monster he's your typical demonic force that feeds off of fear. And, what he does is he trims a lock of your hair, and that hair permits him to always find you no matter where you are. And once he sets his sights on a child, he will never stop hunting that child. And there are things the child can apparently do to defend themselves that is a little on the arbitrary side. It's a little like, huh? So that's one of the things. It kind of reminded me of Harry Potter. There's a kind of a Harry Potter Scar MacGuffin in this film. And that particular thing, it's a little wishy-washy, so I didn't care for it much. But as a film like this, this would probably speak far more to me if I were a parent, because it's a parent defending a child. That is what this film is about. And again, there are some really creepy things in this particular film, and there's a lot of things done with ambiance. And, if you see it in the theaters, particularly if you're a little on the tired side or maybe you've had a drink or two, this could be pretty creepy. One of the points where it does fail, however, is that, they just didn't have the production budget. And what do I mean when I say they didn't have the production budget? Well, there's a point where you enter the monster's lair there, or the big baddies cahoots, and you see a bunch of store candles. They're obviously mass-produced candles. So the budget there kind of, it shows that it's like, how is this a person that's buying candles? Do they have a job? Is there no supernatural element to this? Because it appears that there is. Those things don't jive. They really, really don't stand together. And this is supposed to be, you know, the sack man. His sack is a duffel bag with a modern metal zipper, and it's a nice big sturdy zipper. But so, I mean, you know. Where did that sack come from then? This guy stole it from a camper? These are kind of the problems with this film, is that there are points that bring about these questions of what's the industry, what's going on here. If this is sort of an elf-like creature, you know, because there are stories of elves who are tinkers and make clocks and things, and there's a scene in this with an automaton, and the automaton is given, you know, a mechanical reason for sounding the way it does. I don't want to give it away. It's one of the problems with this film, is that almost everything happens in the last act of the film, and that's all you can really talk about. And it's just, the things in this film, they beg the question, where were you going with this? Because if you were going with the supernatural angle, it's too grounded in reality. And if you're going with this is truly grounded in reality, you need better explanations. So it's in this weird limbo of being, you know, this isn't creeping me out because it's too, movie's got a movie. And if they had gotten away from that, you know, if they had created more of a atmosphere of weird, so to speak, like with the whole candle thing, it's like, yes, those candles don't make sense unless there's going to be a sequel that explains why this thing has store-bought candles, why those particular candles. You know, that was a directorial choice, or maybe they just had those candles. But if you're a supernatural entity, why do you need candles? And if you are an intelligence of some kind, where are you buying the candles because they're store-bought? Maybe you should be making candles, and that would make sense if you made those candles, and, like, you know, there might be a passing reference to, well, we found candles that were made out of human fat or animal fat or whatever it was. That's a thing. You can make people into candles. There are even spells that require people made out of candle, or candles made out of people. But that's not an element of this movie. So there's the thing, is that, yeah, look, this film, Bagman, is a competently made film. It is not dumb in any way. Well, it's just not smart, you know. It's if you were a regular person and you said, hey, I'm going to fry me up a hamburger, this is the regular person fried up hamburger of films. Okay? Now, if you're, of course, a trained chef, and you're going to fry yourself up a hamburger, you're going to, you know, cook it a certain way and add sauce, add, you know, maybe bell peppers or whatever have you, and make it a really good hamburger. It's a competent hamburger. It's just a very normal hamburger. You know, again, you can't say there's anything wrong with it. The filmmakers did their job with what they had. It was a limited budget, but it's not a very interesting premise, and, you know, it could have been done better. You know, I can't say that I dislike the acting, but I will say that the flute instrument was a little on the annoying side, which it was supposed to be, but, you know, its importance was not properly done, and as for what it is, you know, the sound is not right. It would have been better if it were a different instrument, maybe, and incorporated, but this is probably what they could afford or what they had. And there are a few scenes in here with the child in jeopardy, and you're like, okay, you know, I know that's a bad idea. You definitely shouldn't be doing that. But movie's got a movie, and it's like, you know, it doesn't do a very good job of ratcheting up the tension. You know what's happening, and you know what's going to happen, and The ending does give a nice surprising swerve for you. So, yeah, if you can make it through this film, it rewards you enough. But this is the type of film, it goes in the middle of the watch list. It's unremarkable in any way. It's not the kind of film that would become a cult classic or has any particularly interesting vibes to it, but it is competently made. It's one of those very middle of the road films, and it's not something you should walk away from. In fact, I would say because it's an independent film and it's something that the big franchises aren't lording over, you should probably give it a try if you're going to the movies this weekend. But do understand your expectations should be fairly low, and you should pay very close attention to this film because small details will become important. Anyway, that is just my opinion, and I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. I, of course, am Richard.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Randall, yet again. And you can see, in addition to my bracelets from Ocean, each one representing a pound of trash pulled out of the ocean, I got me some Scooby-Doo and Save the Planet 2 metal from Koronker around my neck. Yes, Koronker, conquer something or other. Anyway, look, here's how this works. You walk, you sign up for this thing like the owner of this channel, you walk, they plant 5 trees, and send you this, Scooby-Doo thing. You can Scooby-Doo and Save the Planet 2, just like was done for this channel. So you can help this channel Scooby-Doo and Save the Planet 2 by commenting, liking, and subscribing. Or you could go do it yourself. So if you're lazy, click that like button, say something nice, and if you're not lazy, go sign up, maybe do some trick-or-treating, walk a haunted house, and then I want your face, which is a perfect thing to do right now. How I love human face. Mmm.